You are live on air, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, welcome everybody here to the cemetery committee here on May the 11th, and to those in the room and those online, welcome. And we'll carry right on with this meeting here as soon as I get my paperwork figured out here. Okay, 1.1 on our agenda there, the public may view a live stream of meeting via the town's YouTube page using the following link. That's www.youtube.com/@town-of-Plympton-Wyoming/streams. Please note that the meeting will be broadcast in real time, and change we're making today, this meeting can and will be recorded. So that is a change that passed at the council last night. So just informing you that this will be recorded, and we'll be recording these meetings on a 12-month rotating schedule. So you could go back and have a look up to a year with any of these meetings. So just be well aware you're being recorded. Applicants, proponents, and delegates must make a request to Ella Flynn at Plympton-Wyoming.ca to receive instructions on how to attend a meeting virtually as a participant. So if you need to speak or anything here at these meetings, please contact Ella and she'll inform you how you get onto these meetings, be able to speak. Once you're done speaking on your topic, you will be taken basically off the voice and off the screen. Anybody here today, if you have a declaration of pecuniary interest, you can either declare it now or during the meeting if you choose to do so. Item number 3 on the agenda, we do not have any delegations today. There's no items. So for number 4 there, 4.1, the minutes of the Wyoming Public Cemetery and Inactive Cemetery Committee meeting be received and approved for adoption. We've got the Wyoming Cemetery and Inactive Cemetery minutes of April the 13th, 2023. So if anybody got any corrections, changes, modifications that they'd like to see on those minutes, April 13th minutes, just give you a chance to glance over them there. And if you do have anything, just speak up and we'll. Nobody see anything? John, you don't?
Just a correction.
Oh, okay, go on.
My name is T-U-I-N.
Oh, okay.
All right.
T-U-I-N-S-T-R-E.
Good. Any other?
What's your stuff?
No, well, it's good to get that corrected. That's good.
Be spelled wrong right in their
Probably is. I never
platform.
noticed until now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. We'll get that fixed
Oh,
for
it's
you.
all right.
Awesome.
I still get breakfast every day, so.
Any other corrections? John, you okay?
Looks good to me, Chairman Wolvette.
Okay, sir. Anybody else down there? If you had time to glance over them, okay. It's a move by Albert. Second by Harold, that the minutes of the Wyoming Public Cemetery and Inactive Cemetery Committee meeting be received and approved for adoption. Wyoming Cemetery and Inactive Cemetery Committee minutes, April the 13th, 2023. All in favor? All right, Gary, John, you're okay. Thank you, sir. Get that one. Okay, number 5 there. I know we asked for corrections, but is there any business arising from the previous minutes? Anything that we didn't add? Wasn't accurate? Anything to comment on the items in those minutes? Nothing that you.
Something in there that we discussed about cleanup at the cemetery or,
Which page, John Albert?
I don't know, I'm looking yet.
Oh,
which we did today. Yeah, I was gonna look into John Knox Christian School kids cleaning up the cemetery, which they did this morning.
Oh. Awesome.
And some people were there as well.
Okay.
Al was there. And one of the crew. Getting things pretty up for Mother's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, that worked out very well. Albert gave us a very short call and we looked at it very quickly to see if we could accommodate, and it worked out very well because we were planning to be out there today as well, and everyone met there and got everything tidied up for Mother's Day. So the timing of it worked well.
There's about 30-some children there. Plus a few teachers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Just made quick work of it. 45 minutes. I think they deserve maybe a thank you from us.
Yes.
From the school.
Through the school. Yeah.
John Knox Christian School. And we supplied them with donuts and juice boxes, so.
Okay.
You did, Albert?
Yes.
Okay. That was nice.
No mention. Rebecca mentioned it before in years gone by. And Al didn't know nothing about it this morning, so called my wife up. She looked after it.
Should we reimburse you?
Pardon?
Did we reimburse you for that?
I was just going to mention, that came from Rebecca did it, and I'm not sure about the past with them. I don't know. Wasn't there with them. Usually Rebecca was, or town employees. So,
I can look into. Sorry, which word do I use?
reimbursement.
Reimbursement, thank you.
I got it right here, but
Okay.
don't have to.
Yeah, I can look into that for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be a simple expense sheet, the same as town employees do. So, and actually committee members, as long as we have the receipt, we can make out a check directly to yourself for that expense.
Fine.
Do you want that, just put on your timesheet, at the same time, or it has to be?
Yeah, sure you can, sure.
When you put your expense sheet in, or you want it?
I don't know, just
ahead of- you
doesn't matter to me.
Well, you can put it in now.
Yeah.
And they'll reimburse you.
Yeah.
Might as well do it now and then. it
Okay, that's
will-
right.
You put your time sheets in how often?
I haven't put a timesheet in yet.
So they're normally done annually for committees, except for committee of adjustment.
Okay,
Because that way, if you're what we would pay you, if it's close to $500, that's around the taxable amount.
Yes. right.
So if you'd like the taxable amount, we'll pay you the full amount. Otherwise, we'll cap it at the 400.
499, right?
Correct, yeah.
okay.
We normally wait till the end of the year, so that way you guys can notify us how you'd like that.
Okay, so then maybe you better put your expense sheet in separate.
I'll do it now, so
Yeah.
that way it doesn't get lost.
Okay. Thanks for doing that, Albert. That's,
No problem.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Doesn't matter if it's a donation to it, either way. It took only about 45 minutes to do the whole cemetery. Did a Catholic one too, so.
Oh, wow, nice.
oh, okay. Just make note of that so I have it too.
As an aside, is there not actually a lot of junk to get picked up?
No, it's twigs. Twigs, that's all it was. Some not long and some bigger branches fell off a tree, but they put it all in piles at the street ways through there, and townspeople go pick them up.
Oh, good.
They just put it all together.
So is there any other business arising from the previous minutes? Okay,
I did include a couple items on the agenda.
okay,
So it was brought up about planting trees at the inactive cemeteries.
Yeah.
So this was something that was looked into last year, but as the town doesn't know definite property lines for the cemeteries, the tree planting committee doesn't want to plant any new trees at the inactive sites. So basically cemetery committee would need to pay for land surveys for trees to get planted at the cemeteries.
Yeah.
And surveys are probably at least $5,000 a property. So I don't know that it's necessarily something that's in the budget right now.
And the previous committee did discuss that part of budget deliberations, and they decided to take that out of the budget just because the benefit of reobtaining those lands was not worth the thousands of dollars that the survey would cost. So I think that the tree list did include a couple of smaller cemeteries. Our staff do have those minutes now, and they will look to, if they don't plant trees at those inactive cemeteries that don't need surveying in the fall, they'll include it in next year's round of tree planting.
Yeah, because we had some money, or a bunch of money in the tree committee budget, didn't we, that we wanted to use up?
But I am whittling through that very quickly.
Yeah.
We did a program out at Errol Village where we partook in the intensification program with Sipkins Nursery, Sarnia Remax. The town's portion of that is going to be about $500 to $1,000, and then Sarnia Remax's portion was $3,500. And Sipkins provided much of the labor, much of the trees at discounted rates. Additionally, we are working with Climate Action Sarnia Lambton to do a tree planting on Saturday at Wilpster Park. We're establishing a urban forest there. That's also going to eat into the budget, and we're planning to do 3 phases of that forest. So there's a fair bit of money there, but I can foresee over the next 3 years that we whittle it down pretty good. So, but your trees, the places identified in those minutes, the outside the lands that need to be surveyed are on our list of areas we can plant trees. And we will likely move towards planting those trees either in the fall or as part of the 2020.
And that's something we'll be looking at when we do our tour. If you've read the tour stuff we did last year, it identified where trees could be planted. And they haven't been, we'll just renote it and then we'll have the list. It's all on the list in the tour package here. Okay, so that was 5.1. Any questions on the tree planting at all? Okay, 5.2 there, the 2023 tour there, and then they talked about, as I just mentioned, in the 2022 cemetery tour observations. That's all in the second agenda package you got. Lists everything. Look back, the back of that will do the list of what's needed in those cemeteries, including tree. So what you have there, sorry, I should have mentioned it right off the bat, is that Ella had passed out. This will be next meeting's agenda and tour. So she issued that in advance, so we all have it. We have a map of where the cemeteries are and what the listings were for the needs in those cemeteries last year. So that you have that in advance. So that's what we're talking about there. Questions on that? And read that for next meeting, and just we reinforce there that meeting, that tour meeting on the 25th. We'll be here at 9 a.m. and we should be complete by 2 to 2:30, I would say. And at the same time, we're halfway through that tour, a little better. We will stop for lunch. I believe Skeeter's is what we're going to do.
Historically.
So if that's okay with everybody, unless you want to go elsewhere, that's a good place, and you'll make the reservations and everything. Okay. Okay, 5.3, Decoration Day. That's from the past minutes there. So planning and preparation update and additional budget funds. And Ella has the due list on there for all to see.
So you're all aware what has been arranged and scheduled, so there's not really anything left to do except for a little bit of follow-up, just to make sure everyone can still make it. We did talk last meeting about advertising for the Decoration Day. So if we include advertising in the independent newspaper, that will occupy our whole entire budget for the Decoration Day. So I was going to see if the committee did want me to advertise in the independent. I'm also going to use our website, our Facebook page, and the digital sign uptown. So we can either pay that $100 to advertise in the newspaper, Or we could think of other things to do with that money.
What about that little flyer that's always in the restaurants? It's a threefold, it's white, what's happening, I think it's called.
Oh, like the coffee time news?
Yeah, yeah. And they list every dates of things that are happening. We could maybe get added on there. I don't think it costs anything. Just something like that. A lot of people read that in coffee shops and restaurants. Worth a try, I guess.
That's a great idea. They do community notes and events, I believe, for no charge.
Yeah.
Okay, now as far as the newspaper, I mean. Talked about this before. It's a very touchy situation. If somebody said, well, I didn't know about it. Why didn't you put it in the newspaper? We get the newspaper. A lot of people get that independent. As much as I hate spending money, I'm not so sure we really have a choice but to put it in the paper. Now, how many listings is that for, Ella, for the $100? Just
That
one?
would just be 1 week.
1 week. Well, it's up to the committee, but it is a touchy, very touchy.
Is it like an ad? Like a,
Yeah, so I think it would be an eighth or a quarter of a page. I just looked off last year's budget and we had paid I want to say around $120. So I didn't know if the committee felt that was a good use of the budgeted funds, because we only have $350 in the budget for Decoration Day, so it is a considerable amount of the budget.
maybe a smaller ad? Like, does it have to be?
I can look at the
Size?
pricing for the sizes, but I'm not sure what the minimum
Yeah.
advertising size would be.
Like, I know,
Often, I'm sorry, often they'll do like a credit card or a business card size ad for much cheaper. And then you can run it consecutive editions. So 2 or 3 editions for $30 or $40 rather than one shot and the whole budget's gone. So that's an option to consider.
Everybody okay with it? But I do think we need something in there because like I said, this becomes always a touchy situation. People don't.
I would agree to something smaller.
John's idea is a good idea, I think.
So can we give Ella permission to move right ahead as long as she stays within the budget?
Yeah.
She can design it, whatever. So that communicate with everybody changes. Is that okay with the committee? Okay,
Yep. That's
sounds good. You okay with that, Mr. John?
Yeah, sounds fantastic. And Ella, I've got the contact for the Coffee Time News too. I'll send that over.
Wonderful, thank you.
You bet.
Is just a question, John. I know you know a fair bit about the advertising. Sarnia radio station, do they have a free community? I'm not sure what's free, but any idea about free community news?
I wish I could answer that. They always charge me money. So I don't know. But it's certainly worth exploring for sure. Obviously, we're in a digital advertising world, but I think our target market a bit is some folks that'll read the local newspaper. So I think that's our most captured market, you know, folks that still read a newspaper like Arnold and myself. And so the radio, if they do community events for no charge, that would be great. To pay for something, I wouldn't necessarily lean that direction, but yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to run Ella around either. We don't need to. I think maybe put it on our site. We're going to put it in the paper. I think maybe that's enough. What the committee you think?
Agree.
Yes.
While we're on the topic of Decoration Day, I did give you all a draft copy of the program for today. So if you feel like missed anything, or is your name spelled right on that
It's
one?
perfect.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that's great job on it.
That's professional,
Very nice.
Very good.
very nice.
Um,
We got both a piper and a vocalist, so that's great. That's perfect. Wonderful.
so when I open up the meeting, trying to think of what I'm going to say, but most of it is going to be done by the piper and the singer and the minister. So really, I think the way I'm going to open it up is simply on the back there about Decoration Days of Time Honored. And I'll just basically read that to the people and then give it over to the minister and let him start it off. They don't need me making a great big speech. But I think what's on there, what Ella has got on there, I think is that needs to be said. I think that's kind of neat the way that is. And I know I sent Ella a couple of pages of what another church had wrote in the history of what Decoration Day is all about. It's a lot longer than that. And I thought about reading that and I thought, no, don't keep it short and sweet, but that is short and sweet. Yeah.
I can't take credit for that. I copied and pasted that from Rebecca's program last year.
Oh, good, you did a good job copying.
Yeah.
So if the committee's okay with that,
Right.
yeah, if the committee's okay with that, that's how we'll open it up. And then turn it over to
Yep.
full list. You okay with that, John, or do you?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah,
Thanks, Chairman. All that.
Anybody on the committee want to speak to anything at that meeting? I always offer, if anybody got anything they want to say or whatever. The mayor is going to be speaking. The warden and the mayor of Enniskillen will be speaking. I don't hear any volunteers, so we're good.
No, I won't be here.
Yep, Chairman.
Yeah, if you have any aspirations of maybe running for mayor in a few years, it might be your opportunity to shine.
Well, I'll tell you something, sir. I will do that if you can just knock about 10 or 15 years off my age. I think I missed that opportunity. Okay, so great job, Ella. I think that's great. You can remove draft from it and don't see anything else there. June 11th. Should only take about a minute. About a minute, or less. Depends on how long the preacher goes on, but he's the pastor at our church, so I clued him in. Since he just come from Scotland, him and his wife at Wyoming Baptist Church, I've told him, be nice on the bagpipes like me. Don't say anything against bagpipes. He just laughed at me. Okay, no other changes on there? Okay, that will go with that, Ella, like I say, just tidy it up without draft and. Hey, moving down to number 6, accounts. We don't have anything here today. Do we ever, I don't recall ever seeing much on the accounts here for the cemetery.
No, so that's something that I am actually gonna start doing, because I also noticed it was something never included, so.
Okay,
Probably following Decoration Day, we'll have lots of expenses to review.
yeah.
So stay tuned.
I don't know why in the past we never had anything, but it should be on there. It should be.
Yeah, no, you guys should definitely be informed where money's going and how much is being spent.
Yeah, okay, because we have to budget for it, so we know about it.
Does that mean I'm gonna have another set of payables to sign off on each month? That'd be yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, moving on there. No question on that. The staff report 7.1. 2023-2026 Wyoming Public Cemetery Grounds Keeping Services, and I'll let Adam speak to this. If you don't mind, sir.
Thank you. So as you can see through the staff report, we did receive some quotes. The lowest quote is still notably higher than what you had been promised for this year. Unfortunately, it was not a surprise given fuel prices. So it is staff's recommendation at this time that we award the work to the lowest bidder to ensure the cemetery is well maintained this summertime. And then we don't recommend amending your budget to account for that upgraded cost. We recommend carrying that amount through to the end of the year. And if the town budget as a whole is in a deficit position, then reserves would be used to offset those costs at council's discretion. Then next year, of course, we'll have to amend our budget to account for that, which may make your budget amendment a bit tighter because you're right off the hop going to be having to account for a notable increase.
Any questions on that?
How many bids did we get?
On the report, one moment, please. Multitasking, I was doing a staff report for my next meeting.
Right.
Looks like we got three.
Three bids? Yep. Yeah, they're quite a bit different, aren't they?
Yes.
16,240 to 59,658. The highest in between was 26,250. The difference, eh?
I would suggest that the 16,000 is an excellent price. They were the only ones who priced it as if they wanted the work. I would suggest everyone else threw a number at it because they're excessively busy. Didn't really want the work, but they would sure do the work if it made financial sense to them, which is why you see the difference in numbers.
Adam, then the idea behind keeping it to 3 years so that it would expire the same time as the other one did.
That's the general idea. We're going to try to line up everything together. So we have varied expiry dates. So if our other ones come up and expire early, we'll just do a 1-year contract renewal. And then we'll push it so that all of our parks and cemeteries end at the same time. So we can release it in one large tender, breaking down the cost for each park.
Any other questions on that? Do we have any kind of a penalty clause in there for this new company if they back out?
Not necessarily, because the value is under $25,000, we do not technically required bylaws and contractual agreements. And what we found with smaller projects like this, the more tight you get into those contracts, the more inflated the prices get. So we did not include a withdrawal clause for this specific contract due to the fact that we wanted to entice the lower prices as possible.
Okay.
And is this higher than, was it you lawn? Is it?
Yes, it is. U-Lawn was approximately $12,821 per year with net HST. This bid is approximately $16,525 and change within net HST. So you're looking at $3,704.06 per year additional. Given the fuel prices from over the last 2 years, honestly, it's a fairly
Decent.
increase.
Decent.
It's unfortunate, but it's not unexpected, if you will.
Yeah, but I believe we considered ourselves pretty fortunate. We got the 12,000 bid,
That was an excellent bid.
right? That was a good bid and whatever. Got to be done, so. Any other discussion on that contract? Okay. Moved by Albert and second by me. Report by Adam Sabansky, Director of Public Works, dated May the 3rd, 2023, regarding the 2023 to 2026 Wyoming Public Cemetery groundskeeping services be received and the bid from Southern Comfort Landscape Design for $16,240 per year without HST be accepted and submitted to the town treasurer for approval. All in favor? Anybody opposed? None in favor? Thank you. Gary. Okay. We don't have any, number 8, no bylaws at this time. Number 8.1, no items, correspondence, we don't have any items. So we'll move right to new business. John, any new business today?
Nothing to report there. No, no new business from me, Mr. Chairman.
Pam, any new business today? Hank?
No, we're good.
Albert?
Yes, there's a couple of trees that Al pointed out to me this morning that are needed to be removed. They got really beaten up in the last storm. I guess there's one that came down or two came down. There was one really beaten up pretty bad that should maybe be removed too.
In the Wyoming?
Yeah, Wyoming, yes. And it looked pretty bad.
Those, them big one, them.
Big one, yeah.
So
They're pretty bad.
if the committee would like us to get quotes on that then from 3 contractors for your consideration. If they're bigger trees, it may be worth getting a couple quotes on.
Yeah, we're pretty tight on the budget for. It won't.
Yeah,
Even if we get a quote. That means next year you know what to budget for those removals. If you choose not to do it this year, at least you know for next year.
they'll stand for till next year, but yeah,
Okay,
something to be looked at.
yeah,
Kind of ugly right now.
okay, so Adam will get the quote on that and we can. Yeah, as long as they're not a danger, I guess we got some time to,
Yeah, there's no danger really that I can see.
and we'll, you won't be on the tour, will you, to point out the trees that,
I
oh
will.
yeah, you're gonna be on the tour, you're not gonna be at decoration day. Okay,
I'll be there.
so you can point them out to us and we can list that in our issues here.
And there was a stone that was damaged pretty badly from one of those trees as well. That
Yeah.
took the whole cap off. That needs to be replaced again somehow or another.
Yeah, so some of that stuff was dealt with.
It's still laying on the ground there this morning.
All right, we'll make sure we will look at that.
Look at that one over there.
Okay, Hank. Oh, you already said you didn't have any. Albert, anything else there?
Over there.
Adam, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Ella, do you have any?
Al did let me know, I guess Public Works staff went to the cemetery earlier this week and they did remove some items that were in contravention of the bylaw.
Mhm.
So everything has been tagged and removed and was brought to the Wyoming Public Works shop. So if anyone does receive any calls, emails, anything about that, we do have the items and they are held securely. We're unfortunately in contravention of the bylaw. And I think a few shrubs and plants were also removed.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from the public yet about it, but
There's a few more that shrubs are gonna be removed yet. We
Okay.
looked at this morning. So.
Yeah.
Don't do everything all at once, just a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
Shake too many bushes.
yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of went through that process and slowed it down and communicated to people. That's the biggest thing is communication, right? Letting people, just like our advertisements we talked about, people know what's going on and yeah, you don't please everybody, but you at least give them an opportunity to know what you're doing. I think that's extremely important. So, okay, any other new business? No, here none. Okay, moved by Albert and oh yeah. Pamela. Yeah, I would look at that, okay, and seconded by Pam. That the Wyoming Cemetery and Inactive Cemetery Committee adjourns until the inactive cemetery tour on May the 25th, 2023, or at the call of the chair. All in favor of that? All right. Now, if anybody will not be able to attend the tour, if you don't mind, would you just let Ella know? Because reservations will be made for the luncheon. And I'm not sure who is coming from staff. Where's Ella? You'll be there with us? Adam, Al, who's attending?
One of us will be there. What day was that again, Ella?
That's
25th.
2 weeks from today.
Thursday.
Denny might join us as well.
Oh, Denny may join, okay. So anyway, but once again, for staff, Ella, will know who's coming. I know Ella usually likes to come along because he's the guy that has to get the laborers that will move.
For sure, one of us will.
Fair enough. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. And John, you can,
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
you can turn off the air conditioning now in that fancy truck.
I need it today.
Thank you. Anybody else that was online watching? We're adjourned. You want these back so they don't get